Welcome to beautiful but chilly downtown Guthrie. Chris Evans with you here with Guthrie Junior High History Teacher, District Teacher of the Year. What year was that?
2014, 2015.
Okay, and I've lost how many Teacher of the Year things you've won?
Four.
And
outstanding History Teacher for the American of the Daughters of American Revolution. Can't even talk today.
And the coach of my son, junior high sports.
That's right, go cross country.
So you've been around a lot. But you and a bunch of teachers here in downtown Guthrie supporting teacher as we continue to go through the education funding with the state of Oklahoma. Just talk about the process so far that led up to this day.
Well, a lot of the process is it's just the funding that we do not have in our schools. Yes, we know a lot of it's a local issue, getting bond issues passed. We get that. But a lot of the things that we're still looking for, the ball and dice, the Amazon tax, the capital gains, these are things that would be great inside of the classroom, where maybe my classroom could go from a year-long, which it used to be, now down to a semester-long. Maybe I can go back to the year-long. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm looking for. Something that I'm going to be able to get all my topics in. A lot of the kids that I have right now, we have 93 topics in 89 days. There's no way I can get that topic in without doing a new topic every single day, or maybe 2 topics. Mm-hmm. But some of these topics are so important, such as the Bill of Rights, knowing what free speech is, comparing what the Fourth Amendment is, and with what's going on across this country with all the school shootings, the Second Amendment is very important to understand. Knowing where the commas are, knowing where and what the actual wording is, that stuff's important. And how can I actually teach that if I do not have time? And that's why I'm down there. Yes, I would like the pay raise. That would be great, and that's a good thing, because if I don't, then I won't be able to stay in the state. This town will lose many, many great teachers, and we're already losing great teachers by not being able to get them from the teacher prep programs from OSU, UCO, OU. We're not getting those. This year alone, we usually have about 50 applicants from the OSU job fair, and this year we only had 16.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Yeah, I'm glad for the raise. Don't get me wrong, the $6,100 is great. But the support staff, they don't have a minimum salary schedule. Mm-hmm. So they don't get a lot of this raise. And with all the funding that has been cut, what we have seen is so many more support staff having to be added, but yet they don't get paid as like they should. This goes from bus drivers to secretaries to cafeteria workers to just anybody that comes in contact with our students. Because in my opinion, those guys are educators also. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times our secretaries in our school, what they end up doing is becoming the mom, the dad, the nurse, the teacher. They become everything. I have 2 students who have diabetes, and they come down and they are so on top of these students, knowing where their blood sugar's at and where there's not. How can I say I get the raise that if they don't? I'm out here fighting for them. I'm fighting for the cost of living adjustment for our retirees. I'm down there fighting for our state employees. I'm down there fighting for the future of this state. And a lot of the teachers are. Now, to say that I'm glad we're out of school, like a lot of people have been saying on my Facebook page, obviously don't know me.
Yeah.
I want to be in the classroom. It is something that makes me get up every morning. It's what God placed me on this earth to do. I don't want to be at the Capitol, but I will say I will be down there until we get proper funding for this state. I know this state, we have money.
And a lot of teachers have been pleased with the legislature as far as passing that $477,000, where $6,100 average, so much money, $33 million to textbooks.
Yep.
The steps are right there, but there's still more.
But going back to the textbook, all that money, the things, we only really get $74 per student. Yeah. That's not going to buy a textbook. Right. I mean, I have textbooks that are so old that 9/11's not even in it, and that's a big thing.
Yeah.
When I'm having to supplement out of my own pocket and provide so many new resources. Now, thank goodness we have the Guthrie Foundation that has given us a lot of grants. Yeah. They gave away so much, I think it was close to $20,000 this time, and gave in so many grants, and I'm so excited. I'll get a wonderful camera like this and a green screen, which I'm going to be coming to you and asking, because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So these are things that I'm looking for, and our foundation, our community has stepped up and done. And one thing that I will say, that it's kind of changing the topic, one thing that this has really done with the teachers of Guthrie, it has brought us together.
Yeah.
There's a little hard, well, just like brother and sisters, when we fight,
sure,
we have little petty, differences between us. But when we became friends, it's a little bit harder to say, well, that person, this person, that person.
Right.
What we've done is we've come together as one. I've met so many of my teachers that are in other buildings that I never see. That is so great to see, and so that's made us stronger, which is just going to make my teacher toolbox and my resources that maybe the state can't provide so much stronger.
Yeah, and that's the thing we've seen with the Oklahoma Education Association, the press conference, the leadership. We always hear their thoughts, and they speak for the members, but we never get to hear from.
Well, we even think about this. I mean, half the teachers in our community aren't even members of the union.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, I want to stand behind the OEA, and I appreciate what they're doing, but I also want to say the same thing with POE. I mean, we have POE members, we have AFT members in Oklahoma City, but the majority of the teachers in Guthrie, they're not members of the union.
Yeah.
So our voice and what we truly want is just to know that we are not out here becoming greedy because we want to hire raise. We're not out here to just to showboat.
Yeah.
And I mean, this morning I got on my Facebook page, I mean, personally attacked, saying we're being lazy and greedy, and we should do what we've done in the past. Well, what we've done in the past has got us in this hole.
Yeah.
So we've got to figure out a way out of this hole. To the businesses, I mean, if we have an uneducated society, our businesses will not come here and they will not stay here. They will not be able to be sustained. So if we have an educated society, the better it is for a town like Guthrie.
OEA said, got to get the capital gains, and we got to get Mary Fallon to veto. Is that where Guthrie teachers stand?
As of right now, I just left a meeting to come down here to hold up signs, and that's what kind of the things we're doing. We are working on an exit strategy. I mean, again, the majority of us that are here want to be back in the classrooms.
Yeah.
And so yes, we're working on trying a way to figure out how to end this. But yes, we got to remember, this is not a teacher fault. This is not the teacher's fault at all. This is our state legislators. Now, and he steps on a little bit of toes, but it also goes back to the people.
Yeah.
Because we don't vote. I mean, in the last election, Governor Fallon, she was elected with the registered voters. Only 29% of the people voted. That's a problem.
That's bad.
That's a problem. I don't care. And again, if you've had kids that gone through my class or will go through my class or whatever, most people know that I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, Green Party. I don't care. As long as you get out and vote, as long as you express your views in a positive way, that's what democracy is all about.
Speaking like a history teacher.
That's right. You know.
Now this has been, education is not, the funding has not been a 1 week, 2 week. It's been a 5, 10, 15 year type deal.
Time.
The one thing I say is 10 years of frustration trying to get fixed in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. What do you say to that? They did pass the largest tax hike,
and they're calling it historic, but I wouldn't call it historic when it's needed.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, and that's what they're trying to think. Well, we did this for you, but it didn't. You're right. We're not going to get out of this hole next year.
Right.
But I think the bigger problem what we've got is that we have, and again, this goes back to the budget with having 75% of the thing, and there's a bill on the floor trying to get that repealed back down to a simple majority, which is more democratic than having a 75% stronghold on the thing. So you're right. This is not going to get done this year, but the things that we are asking for should be able to sustain us to the next years. And if we don't get this stuff, then we'll be back out here again, and that's not what anybody wants.
Right. Is there an end in sight? Are we close? Are we? I mean,
you know, I would like to say yes. I mean, I would like to say yes, and it does feel like that. I was talking to a couple of the PR people for the OEA president, Alicia Priest, this morning. I will tell you that Guthrie teachers, we have them on our speed dial. I talked with, I've talked to Alicia this morning. I've talked to a couple other of her people she's with.
Right.
I talk to them all the time. I have news channels following me around. We have so yes, the news is getting the information is getting out there. So I'd like to say yes, it is getting close because of people that have come out and covered and stuff like that. But it's one of those. I'm also not in the meetings.
Yeah.
And if I was, this little toot horn, maybe we would get done. Maybe this little loudmouth here would get out and do it, get something done, but who knows.
Now there's a school board meeting on Monday, and this is really, how's the talks with administration with teachers? How's that going?
We talk with Dr. Simpson quite often. I mean, I have him on my number just like everybody else does, it seems like. He's been very supportive. We do appreciate the support. Sometimes there's a little emotion going on, but when we care deeply and passionate about the teaching and education, those emotions are going to run high. We're tired. I mean, I've been up every morning, and this is just my belief. If I'm and people know this, I get to school every morning at 6:15, between 6:30. I don't have to be there until 7:40. Right. I'm there in the mornings for a lot of things to getting the kids that are there, and I don't leave until after 3:40. And during when I'm coaching, I don't leave until 6 something. So my belief, if I'm going to be at the Capitol, I'm going to be there at that time. So we've had a lot of parents down there. I mean, so much support. There's been so many people in town. I have a list of just supporters in town, just people alone, and that list is right on up to 5 pages. That's not including the businesses yet. The businesses, I mean, keep rising and rising and rising, and it's important to us, and it means a lot when we have places like Ace Hardware donating water, where we have people who are making thank you cards that eventually they'll get thank you cards. It's that type of stuff that just warms my heart, because this is a community that I've become involved with. I mean, I grew up in Edmond, and now I'm a Blue Jay, and I don't want to leave. And and I've told this to Dr. Simpson. I will fight for this. I will fight for this town until probably I don't know.
Yeah. Now we've seen the school district Crescent, Mulhall go back to school. Has there been talks about? We'll send Guthrie teachers, 10, 15 teachers to the Capitol, but we'll have school. That way your voice is still heard at the Capitol, and we have children in the classroom.
That has been talked. We are kind of waiting to kind of see Mondays.
That was a honk, right?
Yeah, I think that was. Monday, we'll know a lot more on Monday.
Yeah.
That's where, a lot of talk. Well, there is, we do have plan A, plan B, and plan C. Plan C is, do you have a rollout? So that is, we do have that in the works. It just kind of really depends kind of what they do on Monday. And that's kind of where we're at.
Community support seems like it's definitely on your guys' side.
And again, I can't go back to this town is wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we have this hashtag Choose Guthrie, and if we really want to believe in Choose Guthrie, the teachers in Guthrie, we're the biggest employer.
Yeah.
And this is choosing Guthrie, and the town has done that. And again, I get home every day and I've got over 100 messages just in my inbox of support, not just from my friends from growing up or friends from across the country or my brother whose friends are in Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, because this story has gone gone viral. And a lot of it is because some of our pictures we're posting and stuff like that. Now, yes, I've been one of those people who've posted those. I don't want to show Guthrie in a negative light. But our town knows what our school's like, and we've passed the great bond issue for the new school out there. So next year we'll be out there in a new school, and that's the stuff we're fighting. If we want to keep that looking nice and being nice, and with the books that are there, we've got to fight what we're doing now.
And that should probably be my last question. The great community support, but one thing that came up, you mentioned the tax. There's a group out there, United Taxpayers, trying to get enough signatures to put it on the ballot in November to do all this work that has gone on to get those taxes taken away.
And you're right. We do have a group that's out there doing that. And this is just my opinion. And I think if that happens, there will be a mass exodus. And just like I took to the board on the this last school board, this walkout's been happening for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen? It's going to get even worse. And we're going to have people who are not qualified to teach. I mean, who knows if we lose many more in the junior high, maybe I'll be teaching a subject that I'm not qualified to teach.
Yeah.
And that's not what anybody wants. No one wants me teaching math. No one wants me teaching a subject that I don't know. Especially Miss Maltz. She doesn't want me teaching that. Shout out to you, Miss Maltz.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're looking at. I mean, we just need it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Brian, I appreciate you spending time kind of getting us a local feel of how this is, because we see a lot of stuff on TV, not only locally but nationally too.
Yeah.
So it's always good to hear what's happening locally.
And again, the local support has been something that it's been amazing. We got behind the bond issue the last time and we got it passed. And I think that momentum is still rising. Now, do we still have the naysayers? Well, of course. I believe in the bell curve. We're always going to have 10% of the population who's not going to support us. And they're going to support us if we tell them the sky's blue. They're going to tell us it's white because there's clouds in the sky.
Absolutely.
So we're always going to have that. But again, I go back to the point that I've been saying all week, especially on my own Facebook page and my videos, is that we've got to get out and vote. This goes back, to things that just to local elections, to school board elections, to the federal level even. Mm-hmm. We've got to get out and vote. Again, I don't care what party you're with. We've just got to vote.
Can you get better weather?
I hope. I mean, shoot. This last week, I don't think my core temperature has actually risen. That was one thing that I really, truly do believe, that the legislators were kind of hoping that the weather on Friday was going to push us away. It made us 10 times stronger. Yeah. And this community, when the wind tore our tent apart, given it's a cross-country tent, and we used it, what happened is that this community really stepped up. John Channel from DNS Towing stepped up and said, I can use theirs. I had a parent from Edmond come back and just said, hey, you know what? I've got one in my garage. I'm going to go back and get it. I hadn't even taken it out of the box. Here you go. Yeah. I have the band boosters who have, just done everything. So I go back to we go back to that. The community support has just been been awesome.
How have the legislators been in their office?
You know what? I've spoken to pretty much every single one of them. I enjoyed talking to AJ Griffin. She, you know, of course, politically we might not always see eye to eye, but she's been very gracious every time in her office. She's been one that that does speak to us. The one and Jason Murphy. Every time I've gone in there, he's never been in his office. The first time I went in there, he went in and they said session didn't start till 1:30, so he wasn't going to show up till 1:30.
Yes.
I can't do that at my job, and they get paid more than I know. He needs to be down there. Now I know he's turbulent, and there are people running against him. I know Gary Mize is running. Never met the man, but I have heard that he is good on education. So you know, I mean, we got other people running. You know, for AJ's spot, she's not coming back. So I do know that there are people running, and I know that Dr. Simpson has talked about that. And I mean, we've even talked, maybe as teachers, we would like to meet these guys to make sure that they meet what we want in the future. Now, other senators and legislators have been very civil. Then, of course, there's other ones just like us. Our emotions are running high, and their emotions are running high. Just like the guy out of Broken Arrow, McDougal, his emotions are running high. But I will say this: he was out in his office in the hallway the next day, and he took his lumps like a man, and that's something I got to appreciate. I don't agree with what his stance is, but I do appreciate that. Same thing with Jason. I know where he stands. I might disagree with him, but I know where he stands. Which means, again, goes back to those people. We've got to get out and vote. With all the new communities going in the South Logan County. There seems like I know that I've already started a campaign to go knock on doors this summer to let people know about education and the funding. So even this fight, when it does come back into the classroom, when we're done with it at the Capitol, the fight still hasn't stopped. We will be out in full force. Knocking on doors. I mean, I kind of wanted to do it today, but my wife has kind of reined me in and said, "Hey, we haven't seen you in a week. You're going to be here, you know." So I'm going to be here for another hour or so. I've got to go back and finish the meeting. We're writing up different things that we're going to speak in front of the board. We are encouraging parents and students to come speak to the board. The sign-in is at 6:45. Board meeting starts at 7. This is a great way to practice democracy, and this is the way to get your voice heard. And it's something that we are encouraging. So if you are a parent or a student who would like to come up and speak, and you don't know kind of the process, you're more than welcome to get a hold of me or any teacher in the district, and I guarantee we will tell you kind of what our thoughts are, and maybe you can help us, and maybe we know a little bit more. So that's kind of where we're at.
If you can't be there, we'll sure stream this live on Guthrie News page as well, and the playback will be all there. Brian, appreciate you spending some time with us, and I know you got some honking you're trying to get out here from people and support for education.
I
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.